Francisco Giants.
And the crowd just goes wild. Good morning, everyone. I'm Michelle Griego.
Hi, everyone. I'm Frank Malika. What a night in Kansas City. Plenty of excitement as the team arrived. About a couple hours ago, took a red-eye flight out of KC into SFO and over to AT&T.
Yeah, and the fans just went crazy after the Giants beat the Royals last night in Kansas City. The Mission District was packed with several thousand people filling the streets. There were crowds in neighborhoods all over the city.
Absolutely, and we've got team coverage for you this morning. Roberto Gonzalez is at Civic Center with information about tomorrow's big victory parade. Dennis O'Donnell up nice and early. He's going to join us with highlights out of Kansas City.
But first we go to Ann Makovic at AT&T Park, where the Giants arrived just a short time ago to a nice welcome from all of the fans out there.
Yes, and a very excited, hearty welcome, that's for sure. The front page of the Chronicle this morning says it all. Dynasty. That is what people are calling the San Francisco Giants after their third World Series win in 5 years. We have some footage of a mini parade. Giants president Larry Baer walking with that trophy in front of the dozens of fans that came here to AT&T Park to welcome the Giants back home. They had been flying all night long after their big victory in Kansas City last night. Now, Larry Baer is the only one who spoke with the fans. The rest of the players were a little too groggy. Don't blame them. What a crazy night. Let's take a look at the scene here last night, by the way. Thousands of Giant fans packing the streets in celebration right after that win. This was the scene here at AT&T Park. Muni stopped running trains through the neighborhood because it was so crazy. The crowd was mostly peaceful, but things got a little bit rough in the Mission District. Besides a couple of bonfires that were set, one person was shot just before 9 at 21st and Valencia, and a man was stabbed a couple of blocks away at 11. They are both expected to live. Now check out the scene at the Civic Center last night. That is where thousands of people came for a city-sponsored celebration. Sporadic concerts breaking out. That was the official watch party. Madness ensuing there, and several fireworks were lit off as well. In fact, some SFPD officers were injured, some by fireworks, some by people throwing bottles at them on Market Street and in the Mission. But overall, Giants fans are just pumped today and pumped about the parade coming up tomorrow. I'm live at AT&T Park. Ann Makovic, back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Ann, one question. The business side, some things get out of hand a little bit. How many arrests? Were there a number of those last night in San Francisco?
The San Francisco police have not released those numbers yet, and that is because they have been busy all night making arrests and also compiling those statistics. So they're expected to give us that information a little bit later on today.
All right, Ann Makovic live for us over at AT&T Park, where the Giants just arrived about an hour and a half ago. Nice job, Ann. Thanks. And we've gotten a lot of pictures, I guess, sent in, of course, to KPIX.com. We're going to share some of those. Crowds getting pretty excited last night. This is a bunch of them on top of this Muni bus, it looks like. This was on Market Street last night.
Right. Police, they were decked out in riot gear, but for the most part, people were behaving, so that's good. One person, though, was shot in the arm in the Mission District, as Ann said, but police tell us he will be okay. And we're also seeing a lot of pictures of toilet paper, of all things, flying overhead, just blanketing Muni wires. And this was the scene in the Castro a couple of hours ago.
Pretty cool.
Celebration there.
Yeah, a lot of people sleeping in today, I bet. KPIX5 Sports Director Dennis O'Donnell is not, though. He's out in Kansas City, site of last night's World Series finale. He joins us live with some reaction from some of the players. Dennis?
Yeah, we're actually at Union Station, Frank, where I guess you could say the Royals World Series train came to a screeching halt last night. People are not too happy this morning, and it was really about history because, as you know, not since 1979 had a road team won Game 7 of the World Series, and that's a long time. The Giants bucked the odds last night, and Madison Bumgarner is sort of the story because he was in the bullpen ready to go. The game was tied at 2 in the 4th inning when Michael Morris fisted one into right field. Pablo Sandoval scores to give the Giants a 3-2 lead. Now, Bumgarner entered the fifth. He retired 14 in a row at one point, but with 2 outs in the ninth inning, Alex Gordon ripped one to center field. Gregor Blanco misplayed the ball, let it roll to the wall. Juan Perez kicked it around. Gordon went into third. Some people think he should have tried to score. The next batter, Salvador Perez, and here is how the game ended.
The 2-2. Popped up. Sandoval in foul territory. Giants win. A World Series win for the San Francisco
Pablo Sandoval
Giants.
catches the final out with the tying run 90 feet away. Bumgarner ends the game by throwing 5 scoreless innings.
Are you tired yet? Or
You know what? I can't lie to you anymore. I'm a little tired now.
I couldn't believe that. When I heard that we were, thinking about using him out of the bullpen, I figured it'd maybe be a couple innings. But for him to come out and throw 5, I mean, that's unbelievable.
That was epic, and I mean, that to me, I mean, that was single-handed, in my opinion, that the best pitching performance I've ever seen.
I don't know how many teams on the road at any point in the season, let alone the 7th game of the World Series, comes back after a 10-0 loss. But they buried it, and we had the secret weapon in Bum.
Yeah, Madison Bumgarner will go down, or has established himself as one of the best World Series pitchers in history. His numbers: 1 run in 20 innings for the postseason. He was absolutely spectacular. By the way, Hunter Pence and Pablo Sandoval, 22 of 51, a .431 average. But I would stay away from the term dynasty. These are not the 27 Yankees. They really have one great superstar, and it's Bumgarner. Perhaps the team of the decade is a better moniker. They won in 10, they won in 12, they won in 14. So 2 years from now, I might be back here again. So Frank and Michelle, I never get tired of the champagne celebrations, and it was fun to be in one again last night. Let's go back to San Francisco.
Yeah, a little dry cleaning bill, though.
I
When
know,
you
and
get
I'm
out,
sure his
your suits
eyes
get
were
gray.
stinging, though, right?
Oh, it
Because
does.
that's what,
No
that's what
doubt
the
about it.
champagne does to you. Well, Roberta Gonzalez joins us now from downtown San Francisco.
I don't have to ask, but I will. Did you watch the game last night, Roberta?
You know that's a silly question, right?
I do.
Yeah, every crack of the bat, every bat that was swung last night, every out recorded. Yes, I watch it. And my hat's off also to Pablo Sandoval, because he was tenacious all series long. And I thought it was so fitting that he should have the final out of the 9th inning of Game 7 of the World Series. I got to tell you guys, I still have goosebumps from last night, especially this morning standing outside this. Check this out. City Hall at Civic Center Plaza. People since 4:30 this morning have been walking by, snapping photographs of this beautiful scene of City Hall just glowing in orange, congratulating our San Francisco Giants on their 3rd championship in 5 years. You know, this is a city that has not slept at all overnight. Take a look at this. City workers have been scrubbing the sidewalks. They have been hosing down the streets. It almost looks like it has rained overnight. It has not. We're just cleaning it up for the whole world to see tomorrow's victory parade right here in the streets of San Francisco. In fact, let me set the stage for you. The parade will be stepping off on the corners of Stewart and Market Street, and then it will wind its way and wrap itself around Market Street until it ends up right here at Civic Center Plaza. And that's where we anticipate speeches and music and lots of celebration along that ticker tape parade. Do you remember the last ticker tape parade? It was 2 years ago. I'm sure you do. Over 1 million people did turn out for that particular parade. Yes, 1 million people. So that's what we're anticipating at least again tomorrow. And everybody who turns out should be prepared for rain. Yes, indeed, it will rain on the parade tomorrow, but it will not dampen the spirits of everyone who does turn out. Just be prepared. But meanwhile, I'm sure you're already wondering, what am I going to wear underneath my rain gear? Well, check this out. Thousands of World Series Championship t-shirts were being made overnight for all of us Bay Area fans. Businesses were working hard all night long to print these t-shirts overnight. And you can anticipate very long lines today at the dugout stores and other sports retailers. I checked it out, and it looks like these shirts are selling for about $25. But again, we are here at Civic Center Plaza, where people have been stopping by all morning long, still wanting to talk about last night's celebration. And Frank and Michelle, you know, I just love me some baseball. And while I want to relish this moment and be in the moment, I'm already looking ahead Pitchers and catchers, they report to spring training on February 15th. That's 108 days away, and I'm already excited.
She's already counting the days. All right, Roberta, thank you. And remember, if you can't go to the parade, just keep it right here. We'll have live coverage of the Parade of Champions. Our coverage starts Friday. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. And if you can't get to a TV, don't worry about it. We'll be streaming it live on KPIX.com.
And we're coming in, I have a feeling, Bart, it's one of their busiest days the last, in 2010, 2012. And Liz, you'll be busy tomorrow too, won't you?
Well, I'll be pretty busy tomorrow. I know, and people may think, oh, the parade's not going to affect me, but if you commute into San Francisco, the end of that parade is going to bump up just in time for the evening commute home, so you may want to ride mass transit anyway. Okay, I hate to be the bum out after all this fun Giants talk, but there are a couple accidents out the door. Here's a live look at some of them. Our sensors right now, only 11 miles per hour. Southbound 880 approaching Whipple. All lanes are now back open, but we got a traffic jam growing right now from San Leandro straight on down. The backups begin around 238. And this car fire is still there, westbound 580 in a bad spot approaching North Flynn, so big delays still from the 205 split. That's your latest KCBS Drive to Work. We got a scary forecast. Here's Lawrence.
Yeah, and on top of that, we've got a strong storm coming in our direction right now. Just a lot of clouds beginning to move across our skies this morning. Temperatures are staying very mild, but you can see that cold front just off the coastline. That likely to slow down. It looks pretty close now, but I think it'll take a while to get here. So today, we'll squeeze in a dry day, although we'll see a lot of clouds coming in. Temperatures in the 70s in the Bay and the valleys, 60s along the coastline. Out the door right now, we've got a lot of those high clouds moving overhead, and that's keeping the temperatures up. Now 65 degrees in San Francisco, 56 in San Jose, and 53 in Concord. As we look toward the afternoon, we'll see a mix of sunshine and some clouds. About 76 in Napa, 69 in San Francisco, and about 76 in San Jose. But there's a significant storm coming in our direction, guys. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Lawrence. A Bay Area doctor under quarantine this morning, Stanford doctor Colin Bucks, treated Ebola patients in West Africa for the last month, and when he got home from Liberia, he was placed under what they call a modified quarantine inside his home in Redwood City. That means Dr. Bucks has to stay away from work, take his temperature, talk with health officials twice daily. KPIX5's Kristen Ayers knocked on his door.
You'll violate my quarantine order. You can't be physically here.
Okay.
It puts me at risk for jail time, honestly.
The doctor is allowed some limited outdoor activity like jogging. So far, he has shown no symptoms of the disease. To date, there have not been any reported or confirmed cases of Ebola here in California.
Time now is 6:12. Bay Area students band together to help some special athletes. More on the event that's bringing the community closer together. Well, Giants fans are waking up happy this morning. The Bay Area just went nuts as the home team added more hardware to the trophy case.
They went nuts, all right. A live look at Civic Center Plaza in San Francisco, all aglow. Look at that. We're a mad scramble already underway to get everything ready, prepped, and ready to go for tomorrow's big victory parade. Beat the rain. We're going to have more of the Giants' big win coming up in just a couple of minutes, but a beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot.
Of San Francisco.
Washed in orange. Well, it happens only 3 times a year, and these kids just can't wait.
Yeah, so true. 11 plus Tri-Valley schools, they all come together to combine both the special and general ed kids to play sports. And on this day, there are no losers, just a bunch of winners. And we think that's pretty cool. They brought out the Dublin High Band to the delight of over 200 special needs athletes, all pouring into Dublin High Stadium, along with hundreds of volunteers, as 3 different Tri-Valley school districts all got busy on the soccer field.
The special needs kids are going away with the idea that they can perform, that they are champions, that there's nothing that they can't do.
The schools partner with Special Olympics through Project Unify. It allows both special and general ed kids to work together through sports. The end result, a stronger student community and some incredible memories for those special athletes. What's today mean to champion?
Yeah, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We're learning about feelings, and by all the faces right now, I see happy, energetic, psyched.
Psyched?
Determination.
Yeah.
They are just flying on cloud 9. They just love it. They actually have a fantastic time over here.
Hi, Cassidy. My name's Emma.
The general ed kids are learning too. How about compassion? Not to mention teamwork and the value of inclusion in all aspects of life. And these students love it.
It just makes me see things in a different perspective, and I love coming here every year. I came here last year, and it was such a great experience. I wanted to come again.
Kids, and it's just really fun. I like to see them all smiling.
Yeah, and you can tell this really makes a difference.
Yeah.
The program is now in its 3rd year and is a huge success. That's why this week we salute the Tri-Valley. This week's Well, you can tell the athletes love it, but I think it's the volunteers, the teachers, the parents that leave there feeling all the better for it.
It's great. They gave it big thumbs up.
Big, big program. All right, well, Giants, what a night. And
Sorry,
traffic.
we're doing traffic first. Yeah,
Is anyone driving to work today?
You know, it was so quiet during the 4 o'clock hour, the 5 o'clock hour, and then everyone woke up. And they hit the roads, and suddenly we have a lot of traffic out the door. Reality hit, yeah. Suddenly we do have a few accidents out the door. So here's a look at a very crowded Bay Bridge, 544. That's when they activated those metering lights. I want to take a look at the MacArthur Maze, and you can see westbound 580. It is pretty sluggish from the 24 interchange now, so that's probably the worst approach. You can see all the other approaches, 880, still looking okay. Even the East Shore Freeway, not too bad. Always dressed in its Giants orange. Here's a live look at the Golden Gate Bridge. Looks great. No delay between San Rafael and the Golden Gate Bridge Toll Plaza. Westbound 580, here's one of our hot spots, literally, an earlier car fire. It's on the shoulder right now, but big delays already from the 205. Split, you can see 9 miles per hour, so there must be something going on out there. At least all the activities off to the right-hand shoulder. Southbound 880, this is another problem. Approaching Whipple, we had an earlier accident. All lanes are also clear here, but that corridor from San Leandro down into Hayward, busier than normal. So mass transit, everything's on time this morning, but just another reminder, tomorrow, even for the morning commute, you really want to consider using mass transit. It's going to be a busy evening commute home with all the parade traffic. You got your regular traffic. So system-wide, BART, Golden Gate Ferries, and Caltrans, they should be all offering some extra trains for the big day. That's your latest KCBS Drive and Ride to Work. Your forecast. Here's Lawrence.
Yeah, and Liz, boy, we got a crazy day tomorrow. I mean, Halloween, we've got trick-or-treaters. Now we've got the Giants Championship Parade, and guess what? We've got a strong cold front off the coastline and this strong storm system. It's going to come on shore for tomorrow. Today, a lot of clouds going to be moving across our skies. We're seeing a lot of clouds out there right now. So we're going to see that mix of sun and clouds, slightly cooler temperatures too. And then really kind of a scary storm. It's coming through in the morning. It looks like it is going to pound very heavily in the morning hours and then turning to showers, maybe some thunderstorms into the afternoon. But the low digging on the backside of the system may slow it down just a little bit. Latest computer models want to try and bring some clouds across our skies today. That makes a lot of sense. The front, well, about 10 o'clock or so, still lingering in the North Bay, so continues to slow the movement of this frontal system down and then sweeping down across the Bay Area as we head throughout the day. Showers continuing into the evening hours for the trick-or-treaters. All right, temperature-wise today, it'll be a dry one, so get everything you need to get done today. A lot of 60s and some 70s outside. Sunrise is at 7:33. Your sunset is at 6:13. And as we look toward the next couple days, stormy weather returns. Looks like that rain will be really kicking up as we head in toward Friday. Saturday, maybe some leftover showers. Dry weather returns on Sunday. That's the latest forecast, guys. Back to you.
All right, Lawrence, thank you. A San Francisco cancer patient's decision to end her own life sparked a national conversation. Coming up at 6:30, Brittany Maynard releases a new video discussing her decision. While the Giants are celebrating their third World Series in the last 5 years, it was bedlam inside the winning locker room in Kansas City last night. And here's what made it all possible. Our play of the day from Giants pitcher Madison Bumgarner.
The 2-2. Popped up. Sandoval in foul territory. Giants win.
They did. Bumgarner only allowed 1 run in 20 innings during the World Series run, which earned him the MVP and, of course, our play of the day.
Yes.
I don't think he's watching, but well done. Here's what manager Bruce Bochy had to say about his ace after the game.
I mean, truly amazing, incredible what he did through all this postseason, and as you guys just mentioned, historic. And in fact, I was staying away from him every inning because I was hoping he wouldn't go. I'm starting to get a little tired.
Stay in the game.
Tired, well, while the Giants were taking home the title, the Warriors' regular season tipped off in Sacramento.
Yeah, a little basketball last night. The Steve Kerr era officially began for Golden State. The Warriors started slow, but Steph Curry led a second-half charge. He had a couple dozen points. The Warriors beat the Kings 95-77. They pounded them. Steve Kerr wins in his NBA head coaching debut last night in Sacramento.
6:25 now. The uproar over the driving habits of Oakland's mayor isn't going away. Why a new lawsuit calls her conduct behind the wheel, quote, despicable.
And check it out, hot off the presses. The San Francisco Chronicle declaring the Giants champions. They arrived home at AT&T Park, and we heard from President Larry Baer. It's coming up next.
Yo, check. Can you take the gain down on the mic a little bit? Thank you. I think he can hear you. What's that, Maureen? Okay, thank you. Do you want me out of the picture? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
That's exactly what Amy sounded like.
Live from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
Live from Civic Center Plaza, I'm Roberta Gonzalez, watching city workers hosing down the streets, sweeping the sidewalks. We are getting ready for a city victory parade.
And a San Francisco woman with terminal cancer releases a new video discussing her decision to end her own life. We're going to hear from Brittany Maynard.
Clouds now beginning to move across our skies. We've got a big storm headed our way. We'll have details coming up.
And this earlier crash in Hayward is now causing delays in northbound 238 coming off of the Castro Valley Y. Your travel times, they're just minutes away.
Thank you, Liz, and good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, October the 30th. I'm Frank Malika.
And I'm Michelle Griego. Time now is 6:30.
Big story in baseball. Order up another round of rings for your Giants. They rolled back home to AT&T Park at God's hours this morning with another World Series trophy in hand. They won Game 7 in a remarkable way, beating KC 3-2 was your final.
The 2-2. Popped up. Sandoval in foul territory. Giants win.
Whole lot of hugging going on last night. We got team coverage for you this morning. Roberto Gonzalez is at Civic Center in San Francisco getting ready for the big parade tomorrow.
But first we go to Ann Makovic at AT&T Park, checking the aftermath of the big celebration after last night's win. And there was a bit of a celebration this morning, too.
Yes, and a big run on these. The front page of the San Francisco Chronicle this morning saying dynasty. That is what people are calling the San Francisco Giants after their third World Series win in 5 years. It has been unbelievable. So the team arrived back here at AT&T Park at about 4:30 this morning. They got straight into their cars to go home. But first, Larry Baer, the president of the Giants organization, took a victory lap with the 2014 World Series trophy in front of several dozen fans who were lined up here to greet the team. Baer was obviously exhausted, but elated.
There's a culture here that they never give up, and we've had some down times, but they're there for each other, they love each other, and they fight for each other. What we'd like to tell the fans is this belongs to you. It's been an amazing run, and we're not done. We're not done. Let's just keep going. We got a lot of the same players back next year, so it's pretty special.
Now, as for fan celebrations in the city last night, of course, you know, some people had to pull this. Things got a little rough in the Mission District. Besides the bonfire you're looking at, one person was shot just before 9 at 21st and Valencia, and a man was stabbed a couple of blocks away at 11. They are both expected to live. The scene at the Civic Center in San Francisco was a lot of fun. Sporadic concerts breaking out. It got a little crazy there as well, as thousands of people came for the city-sponsored celebration, but a lot of fun. Now, a few San Francisco police officers were injured during the celebrations as they tried to keep things out of control by fans throwing bottles at them, and also some fireworks that were lit off. But overall, a generally peaceful scene as people were really excited about what happened here last night and getting pumped for the big parade tomorrow.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Probably taking a little break today and the big parade tomorrow. Now, a couple questions. Did Hunter Pence ever catch a cab this morning? And did any of the players finally talk to some of the fans there, or were they just too tired?
No, they didn't, and that was a little bit disappointing for the dozens of people who did come here. They waited all night for the team to come back, which is going to happen at about 4:30 this morning. But the team was so exhausted. I don't blame them for not wanting to, go on camera or parade around and talk to people. But it was disappointing because in the past 2010 and 2012, at least a couple of the players would come out and give fans some high fives. But they're just holding it all in until tomorrow. Again, going home, going right to sleep.
They're a little sleepy, Ann. All right. Thank you. Well, here is a look at how the players celebrated, why they're so sleepy once they reach the locker room. The champagne flowed freely. Some of it was consumed, but I think most of it was simply spray. They had to wear their goggles, though, because champagne hurts, right?
It is brutal, but in such a good way.
In such a good way. According to the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat, the champagne actually came from a Bay Area winery, Mum Napa. Pretty cool there.
Yeah,
without the series' most valuable player, this probably would not have happened in the Giants locker room.
So you pitched more than a third of the team's innings during this World Series. You came back on short rest. Are you tired yet? Or...
You know what? I can't lie to you anymore. I'm a little tired now.
Well, now he admits it, right?
Hard to believe he's only 25.
I know.
I mean, he's got a lot of years ahead of him, too.
Roberto Gonzalez joins us now from San Francisco's Civic Center.
And Roberto, you are party central for tomorrow's big parade, and I would imagine they're already getting ready for that, right?
I got to tell you, Frank and Michelle, when I drove into town today, it appeared as if it had rained in the city of San Francisco. The streets are wet, the sidewalks are wet. it did not rain. This is a city that has not slept all night long because we are preparing for a victory parade. Check this out right here. City workers diligently working all night long, hosing down the streets, wetting down the sidewalks, also sweeping them off. And we are getting this city all nice and tidy and clean and fresh for the entire world to see. Our World Championship parade that begins tomorrow. Now, let me set the stage for you. At high noon tomorrow, the parade steps off at the corner of Stewart and Market Street. And just like years past, it marches and winds its way up Market Street until it ends up right here at Civic Center Plaza. Now, there will be speeches, there will be celebrations, there will be lots of music. It will be a ticker tape parade. 1 million people did turn out at 2012 celebration, and we are expecting that kind of a crowd again. So what you need to do is think about this. If the parade does happen at high noon, then you need to be here several hours in advance just to jockey for position. Another thing to take into consideration, it will rain on our parade. That's right, we do have rain showers in the forecast, so you'll want to prepare for that as well. But it's not going to dampen any of our spirits. Oh no, I know you're already thinking about this. You're saying, what am I going to be wearing underneath my rain gear? Well, check this out. Last night, thousands of World Series Championship t-shirts were being made for us Bay Area fans. Businesses were working really hard all night long to print those shirts out, and you can expect some really long lines today at all the dugout stores as well as other sports retailers. We checked it out, and those t-shirts are averaging about $25 a shirt. Again, we are live here at Civic Center Plaza in San Francisco. I got to move out of the way. You guys got to look at this. City Hall, all glowing in orange, honoring our San Francisco Giants World Series champions for 2014. Again, the third title in the past 5 years. What has been totally awesome is last night this place was just jumping and celebrating. Today it's the same thing. I've been getting goosebumps all morning watching people come and snap photographs because this is really historic for the city of San Francisco. Frank and Michelle?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is, Roberta. All right, well, Frank and I can't wait to get out there tomorrow for the parade, and we will have live coverage of that Parade of Champions. Coverage starts tomorrow at 11, and if you can't get to a TV, don't worry about it. We'll be streaming it live on kpix.com.
And we said it earlier, but you might want to pick up a Chronicle today.
Yes.
You might want to frame these babies up because there you go, Dynasty, of course, and absolutely. I mean, they've won 3 out of the last 5, and you got to start bouncing the D word around this team, that's for sure.
I know, but Larry Berry's being very careful about saying that word, right?
Well, you don't want to get, too high and mighty. And here's the other one if you get the sporting page, and, how simple is that headline?
Yes.
3 in 5 years, I would say that's a dynasty.
Pretty incredible.
That is pretty amazing.
You know who I credit this to?
Who's that?
Your tie.
My tie, my lucky tie last year. That means I'm going to have to wear it for every game next year.
I think Cooperstown might be calling.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, you know what's nice about all those, the orange glow and all the lights on the buildings? They don't have to change for Halloween. It's perfect.
That's very true.
They can keep them that way, and they're going to need all the lights because we've got a big storm coming in our direction. In fact, this storm system now just developing off the coastline. A lot of clouds beginning to move across our sky. So, yeah, it looks like temperatures are going to begin to cool down. Still mild 70s inland and 60s at the coast. Now, there's that orange glow that I was talking about over Coit Tower. Skies now filling up with some clouds, but staying dry. Temperatures are mild, 65 in San Francisco and 56 in San Jose, 56 in Livermore. This afternoon, 76 in the Napa Valley, 76 in San Jose, and 69 in San Francisco. But that rain is headed toward the Bay Area on Friday. Going to be a messy commute early tomorrow, Liz.
It is going to be an interesting morning and evening commute between rain, Halloween, and a parade going on. Yeah. Stay tuned for KPIX 5. We'll keep you covered. All right, in the meantime, pretty typical stuff at the door right now. If you're heading to the Bay Bridge, it is stacked up now fully through the maze. The approaches looks like 580, pretty sluggish from the 24 interchange. Here is our hot spot, though, still at the door, southbound 880. This is unusually backed up. This is actually a traffic jam. It was all because of an earlier accident at Whipple. 21 miles per hour. Southbound 880 backs up at San Leandro, and it's even affecting northbound 238 now, coming out of Castro Valley. Here's a live look at 880 in Oakland. Northbound traffic is fine in the commute direction to the Oakland Coliseum and all the way to your downtown Oakland exits. Westbound 580, they cleared that earlier car fire at North Flynn. Still slow behind it and then sluggish all the way out to 680. That is KCBS Drive to Work. Back to you guys.
Elizabeth, thank you. A woman claims Oakland Mayor Jean Quan was talking on a cell phone when she crashed her car last summer. Quan and Lakeisha Renee Lovely collided in June at 26th and Market Streets in Oakland. Lovely's suit claims Quan failed to stop for a red light and was talking on the phone at the time of the crash. Both Quan and the city are named in the lawsuit, which was filed yesterday.
Brittany Maynard says she has not decided yet when she will end her life, but it's a decision she is still determined to make.
I hope my family is still proud of me and the choices I made. And if November 2nd comes along and I'm still alive, I know that we'll just still be moving forward as a family, like out of love for each other, and that decision will come later.
The 29-year-old Maynard was given 6 months to live back in April. She moved to Oregon because of the state's death with dignity law. She had mentioned November 1st might be the date, but is now giving that a little more thought. It is 6:40. A man who treated Ebola patients in West Africa now under quarantine, and he's here in the Bay Area at his home. The Stanford doctor describes his time in isolation when we come back.
Few clouds now moving in. Temperature's going to start to cool off a little bit today. It'll be mild outside. 74 degrees in San Mateo, 75 degrees in Menlo Park, a little warmer in the parts of the South Bay. Maybe we start to sneak into the upper 70s in places like Campbell, about 78 in Morgan Hill, and 79 in Gilroy. You're going to see a mix of sunshine and a few clouds into the East Bay, 78 in Livermore, about 76 in Dublin, and 75 degrees in Hayward, 75 degrees also in Pleasant Hill. In the North Bay, we'll see a few more clouds moving on through. Still a little bit of sunshine, so sneaking into the 70s there. But then big changes coming our way. In fact, tonight, looks like we've got a good chance of rain, but not before. 69 degrees and dry in downtown San Francisco.
All right, thank you, Laura. It's time now for a look at what's coming up a little bit later on CBS This Morning.
And Charlie Rose joins us now from New York. Charlie, last week we asked you who you were rooting for in the World Series. You said the Giants, and there you go. They just won.
Oh, there you go. I'm not sure that was the difference, but I'm telling you, what a great series. 7 games down to the final out, man on third, and your Giants came through with a victory. A remarkable performance. I was, and I was actually very late. I didn't get to bed till about 1 o'clock. Anyway, we continue your coverage of the team's arrival home and the big cleanup after last night's rioting. Also, our crews are the first to come in contact with a Yale epidemiology student after his Ebola quarantine ends. Ryan Borko tells us about his experience in isolation. And Fireball whiskey is recalled in parts of Europe over an ingredient also found in antifreeze. Benita Nair takes a closer look at why it is still on American shelves. All of that and more. The news is back in the morning. See you at 7, and once again, congratulations.
Yeah, nice.
Well, Charlie, thank you so much. We'll see you at 7.
Boy, he went to bed at 1 o'clock.
He did. I know. He must be tired.
I'm never going to complain again. Well, this morning, the market is watching new numbers about jobs and the economy.
Here now is KCBS Radio's financial reporter, Jason Brooks. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Frank. Some decent news on the economy this morning. The Labor Department reports that first-time unemployment claims, while up 3,000 to 287,000, remain near a 14-year low, as the 4-week average did edge a little bit lower to 281,000, continuing the strong growth that we've seen in the job market over the past several months. The economy in the third quarter grew a bit stronger than expected. Commerce Department reporting growth of 3.5%. That came from a big splurge in military spending, up 10% in the quarter. Business investment up 7.2% on new equipment. Consumer spending a bit weaker than in the second quarter, up 1.8% versus growth of 2.5% in the second quarter. Stock market getting off to a pretty decent start this morning. Let's take a look at the big board, see how we're doing so far. And the Dow is up by about 90 points. NASDAQ is down by 8. S&P is lower by 1 point. Some weakness in social media is weighing on the NASDAQ. Back to you guys.
Dow's up. We're going to throw that to the giant effect.
Sure, why not?
Whatever it takes. All right. Jason Brooks, KCBS News. Thank you, Jason.
A doctor from Redwood City who treated Ebola patients in West Africa is now under quarantine in his home. More now from KPIX5's Kristen Ayers.
On this quiet block in sleepy Redwood City, the Ebola epidemic feels suddenly close to home. Behind this door, Stanford doctor Colin Bucks is under a modified quarantine. He told us he could not open his front door to us.
You'll violate my quarantine order. You can't be physically here. Okay. It puts me at risk for jail time, honestly.
Dr. Bucks spent the last month in Liberia treating Ebola patients. He's shown no symptoms of the disease, but state health officials aren't taking any chances, recommending a 21-day quarantine for anyone who has had contact with infected patients in Ebola-stricken countries. During that time, Dr. Bucks has to stay away from work and take his temperature and talk with health officials twice daily. He's allowed some limited outdoor activity, like jogging.
He can't come out to jog?
He can. He can, as long as he jogs alone.
Okay, well, see, I don't think that's right.
Dr. Bucks's neighbors were shocked to hear about the quarantine.
That's very close to home. Oh, my goodness.
I am worried because he's too close to me.
But by phone, Bucks told KPIX5, "I'm California's most experienced Ebola physician. I won't take a single chance." Neighbors say they're grateful for his service.
Hat goes off to him for, what he was doing out there, treating patients and stuff like that.
And hoping he remains healthy. Despite the precautions Dr. Bucks is taking at his home here in this neighborhood, it's important to note that there have been no reported or confirmed cases of Ebola in California. In Redwood City, Kristen Ayers, KPIX5.
UC Berkeley's chancellor says he has no plans to uninvite Bill Maher as keynote speaker at a commencement coming up. Some students there wanted the comedian removed, though. They collected more than 4,000 signatures to that effect. They claim his opinions on Islam are offensive. Maher said he would address the controversy on his HBO show tonight.
Time now is 6:49. Let's get a check on traffic with Elizabeth.
Thanks, guys. And we do have a bit of a problem now coming into San Francisco on southbound 101. The access involving 3 to 4 cars, 2 lanes are blocked. So this is in a bad spot anyway. Traffic is backing up at Cesar Chavez. It's even affecting the northbound direction. You can see slowdowns both areas. Okay, all eyes are on tomorrow. So today's commute relatively quiet except for that one accident. But tomorrow could be a completely different story. We got rain, we got Halloween, and of course we have the big Giants parade. The center of all the action is going to be at Market Street. Kicks off around noon at Market and Stewart. So again, traffic tie-ups are going to be the name of the game. You're really encouraged to use mass transit. Even if you do drive in, where are you going to park? There's barely any parking ever. And Halloween is nuts in San Francisco anyway. So it could be a record breaker for BART. We'll have to see. Morning commute could be busy, and the evening commute, because of course the parade bumps up just as the evening commute begins. The parade is expected to wrap up at 4, people hanging out for a while, and then Halloween kicks off. You know the drill. So, you know, in previous parades, mass transit offered extra service. Seems to be the case this time around as well. Dressed in its Giants orange Golden Gate Bridge, so far looking pretty good. As you can see, all green on the sensors here from 580 to the Golden Gate Bridge toll plaza. And wow, look at this, suddenly slow across the San Mateo Bridge coming out of Hayward on westbound 92. That's your latest KCBS Drive to Work. Lawrence timing out the rain showers. Here he is.
And Liz, I think you might have a record long day tomorrow. That is
You might too.
That is going to be a big one with the storm coming in the morning. Then we've got the parade and, of course, Halloween, too. All right, out the door we go. We've got some clouds moving overhead already. The temperature staying fairly mild, but look off the coastline. We've got a very strong storm system now just developing, unseasonably strong for this time of year, that is headed in our direction. So partly cloudy throughout the morning this morning, but we are going to see the mix of sun and clouds as we head throughout the day and slightly cooler temperatures. And then really a scary storm coming in tomorrow morning on Halloween, and then maybe even some showers and thunderstorms behind the main cold front. So here you go. That strong storm system just developing, likely to slow down. This low is diving on the backside of it and helping to deepen it. So it's going to strengthen. That means as it strengthens, it starts to pull back just a bit. So as we head in toward the next 24 hours, the clouds roll in. And then I roll this right toward noon and right along the parade route. Here we go. We've got some rain coming there, and it'll be pounding rain. Some heavy amounts, maybe 1 to 2 inches in the wettest spots in the mountains. Scattered showers continuing for trick-or-treaters. Not a washout for them, but more scattered showers as we head in toward the evening hours too. Temperatures today will be in the 60s and also the 70s as we look toward tomorrow. Not only will we see the rain, but it'll be much cooler as we head in toward the weekend. Some rain and thunderstorms as we head in toward Saturday as well. Drying out on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And so, yeah, unfortunately for trick-or-treaters, yes, there do look like there'll be showers. No, it does not look like it'll be a rain out. But yes, parents, prepare for some rain. We're likely to see some showers
A lot
Oh,
of
out there anyway.
ghosts and goblins with
Slickers.
raincoats.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right, very good. It is 6:52. Up next, the investigation into the shooting of a mother in Oakland ends 100 miles away. How a police standoff in Sacramento may have closed the case. Coming up.
And your World Series champions have made it back home. Dozens of fans were here to greet them at AT&T Park. Let's check out the scene next.
Actually, Dave. Hey, Dave. I have a 7 o'clock on the dot hit with KOVR, so I probably shouldn't give you a bump then.
Illuminating Michelangelo's frescoes on the ceiling. The new system uses less electricity, and new air conditioning reduces heat to protect the priceless works of art inside.
Five things to know at the 55 now. A nurse is vowing to end her Ebola quarantine at her home in Maine today. Casey Hickok spoke briefly yesterday, saying her civil rights are being violated. State officials want Hickox now to remain in isolation until the end of the 21-day incubation period for Ebola, even though she has tested negative for the virus so far.
A Bay Area doctor is under quarantine after treating Ebola patients in West Africa. Dr. Colin Bucks was placed under a modified quarantine inside his Redwood City home. Dr. Bucks has to stay away from work, take his temperature, and talk with health officials twice a day.
Investigators will continue to shift through all the debris today to determine just how that unmanned rocket exploded moments after liftoff in Virginia this week. The company responsible for that failed mission promises to find the cause of the failure. Critics are pointing to the use of old Soviet engines as a potential factor there.
A man suspected of killing an Oakland mother of 4 was arrested after a police standoff near Sacramento. Sunday, someone shot Perla Avina in the head through the windshield of a car she was in. The standoff and arrest happened in Elk Grove yesterday when investigators found the 21-year-old suspect at a friend's house.
And Oakland's Mayor Jean Quan is being sued over a traffic accident. Quan and Lakeisha Renee Lovely collided in June in Oakland, and according to the Chronicle, Lovely's suit claims Quan failed to stop for a red light and was talking on her cell phone at the time of that crash.
I'm Ann Makovic live at AT&T Park with the front page of the Chronicle today. It says Dynasty. The team arrived back here at the park at about 4:30 this morning. Most of the teammates got into their vehicles and went home. But first, President Larry Baer walked around with the 2014 World Series trophy to show it off to several dozen fans who were lined up here to welcome the team home.
This group really felt that they earned it because they defied a lot of odds. Nobody predicted us to do anything.
It's really exciting. It's really cool because you see them up close, you see what car they drive.
The thousands of fans packed the streets in celebration right after last night's win. This was part of the scene at the Civic Center where someone lit off some fireworks. There were a few other troubles scattered throughout the city. Several bonfires were set. There was a shooting and a stabbing, but on the positive side, nobody was killed. Mostly, it was a big party. And here is a look at the parade route tomorrow because that is going to be a lot of fun. It starts at noon at Market Street and Stewart. It will go up Market Street and then wrap up at Civic Center Plaza. Always an exciting day. The third one here in 5 years. Live at AT&T Park, Ann Makovic, KPIX 5.
Pretty amazing, Ann. And if you can't make it to the parade, you can watch it right here. We'll have live coverage of the Parade of Champions. Our coverage starts Friday at 11, and we'll be streaming it live on KPIX.com.
And unfortunately, with your bad news traffic report, that's me. Here's southbound 101 at 280. 2 lanes are blocked now in this bad spot. I wouldn't be surprised if this turned into a traffic alert. It's really stacking up traffic already on the Central Freeway and on the Skyway. And traffic is backed up behind the pay gates, behind the Bay Bridge as well. The metering lights, looks like they're clamping down on those to limit the amount of cars on the Bay Bridge that might get stuck once they get on the other side into San Francisco. So 580 is still the worst approach.
And a big change in the weather today. The clouds beginning to move across our skies as it looks like we are getting ready for some rain, but not today. We'll keep things dry outside. In fact, these temperatures will be a little bit cooler, but still mild. A lot of 70s around the Bay and the Valley, 60s along the coastline. Tomorrow, a strong storm drops into the Bay Area. We are expecting some heavy rainfall tomorrow morning, maybe even some thunderstorms, maybe a little hail, some gusty winds.
Wow.
What a great day for a parade.
Great day for a parade.
Should be a lot of fun out there.
Trick-or-treaters out there. But hey, the fans will show up anyway, right?
Yeah,
they sure will.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, your next local update is at 7:26.
Yeah, we're going to leave you with a little champagne party, Kansas City style. See you, folks.
Big change.